Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point, and we come to you live from the highway between Rajkot and Ahmedabad. What's really happened just an hour back, viewers, that the campaigning drums for the first phase of polling in Gujarat have fallen silent. I'm sure the campaigning, the physical form of it has ended, but a lot going on right now in terms of permutations, combinations, calculations, give and take possibly, and all of that. Two uneasy nights where 89 constituencies of Gujarat are concerned. Gujarat polls in the first phase on the 1st of December, 89 constituencies vote on the 1st of December, and then you move on to the second phase, which is the 5th of December. In the midst of it all, what's really happening is a lot of political commentary. If at one end you saw the Prime Minister completely spin what the Congress's Mr. Mistry had said, where he spoke of Auqad, and you saw the BJP completely spin it around and make it political. Something similar has happened today as well, where you have the newly minted president of the Congress, Mr. Kharge, who used an analogy where he referred to the Prime Minister as Ravan. The BJP, understandably, has made a political meal out of it in poll-bound Gujarat and otherwise as well.
First, he called Prime Minister Modi a leader of lies.
क्यों झूठ बोलते हो लोगों को? क्यों दिशा भूल करते हो? सच बोलो, सच बोल के वोट लो.
And now, he's called Prime Minister Modi Ravan.
हर जगह कितने हैं भाई? क्या आपके रावण के जैसा 100 मुख है? क्या है?
Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge has set off a political tornado in battleground Gujarat over his attacks on Prime Minister Modi. After accusing Prime Minister Modi of garnering votes by invoking sympathy for his poor background, now Kharge has called Modi a Ravan, and here's why.
हर वक्त अपनी ही बात करते हैं. आप किसी को मत देखो, मोदी को देखकर वोट दो. अब भाई तुम्हारे को तुम्हारी सूरत कितनी बार देखना? कारपोरेशन में भी तुम्हारी सूरत देखना, एमएलए इलेक्शन भी तुम्हारी सूरत देखना, एमपी इलेक्शन में भी तुम्हारी सूरत देखना. हर जगह कितने हैं भाई? क्या आपके रावण के जैसा 100 मुख है? क्या है?
The BJP reacted sharply to the comment, reminding the nation of Congress's niche and Maut Ka Saudagar jibes in the past and accusing the party of insulting the pride of Gujarat.
मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे जी ने ये बोल रहा है कि मेरा साथ कोई चाय नहीं पीता है. तो हो सकता है राहुल जी उनका साथ चाय नहीं पीता है अभी तक. हो सकता है कि कांग्रेस में अस्पृश्यता का प्रैक्टिस किया जाता है. तो खड़गे जी का यह बयान का बाद राहुल जी को एक ट्वीट करना चाहिए विथ ए पिक्चर बैकडेटेड कि वो और खड़गे जी एक साथ चाय पी रहा है.
उन्होंने माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को रावण कहा है, और मुझे लगता है इससे बड़ी धृष्टता, इस प्रकार के भाषा का प्रयोग, इस प्रकार का गाली गलौज अपने प्रधानमंत्री के लिए करना, और वह भी गुजरात के सपूत के लिए ऐसे शब्दों का प्रयोग गुजरात में खड़े होकर करना, यह उचित नहीं है.
हम कहते रहे कि आतंक को टारगेट करो, लेकिन कांग्रेस की सरकार आतंक को नहीं, मोदी को टारगेट करने में लगी रही.
Kharge's string of comments come even as Prime Minister Modi lashed out at Congress for constantly targeting and insulting him, accusing the opposition of focusing on him instead of real issues.
કોંગ્રેસ વાળા કહે છે આ મોદીને એની औकात બતાવી દઈશું. औकात, मोदी को उसकी औकात दिखा देंगे. अहंकार जुओ भाइयों, अहंकार जुओ, मोदी को उसकी औकात दिखा देंगे.
हमेशा क्लेम करते हैं मैं गरीब हूं, मैं वो, हम भी गरीब है, हम तो गरीब से गरीब है, हम तो अछूतों में आते हैं। कम से कम तुम्हारी चाय तो कोई पीता है, मेरी चाय भी नहीं पीता कोई।
The political temperatures are soaring in Gujarat, and while largely the war of words has so far been restricted to the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP, Congress now has thrown its hat in the controversy ring. Bureau Report, India Today.
One really does wonder whether this comment by Mr. Kharge will backfire in poll-bound Gujarat Saurashtra, which goes into vote where I'm standing right now with 38 seats, was swept by the Congress in 2017. 48 seats of Saurashtra, 30 were won by the Congress in 2017. A day before polling, a comment like that, will it have any impact on ground? Because the BJP, like I said earlier, is going to make a political meal out of it. I want to cut across to our guest this evening. Joining me is Rahul Srivastava, our National Affairs editor. I also have with me Lavanya Balal, Congress spokesperson, Jibe Narasimha Rao, Rajya Sabha MP and Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson. Before I go to our political guest, Rahul, I want to bring you in for somebody, who's seen many elections in Gujarat, who's traversed the state this time around. If there is an X factor which rides above everything else, it is the Prime Minister Modi himself. At this juncture, Rahul, when you saw that the Okad comment was completely, turned around by the BJP and to feed it politically, especially in Gujarat, would you have thought that maybe the Congress should have shown some restraint by, referring to the Prime Minister as Ravan, even though the Congress president might not have meant that to compare him to Ravan, but by the sheer virtue of saying it, it could have a negative impact, especially right here in Gujarat?
Really, it seemed that the Congress had learned a lesson, and in July this year, there was a meeting at the Congress headquarters. There was a Gujarat task force in which Priyanka Gandhi, P. Chidambaram, Jairam Ramesh, Surjewala and several other Gujarat leaders were there. And one of the key decisions taken was no personal attacks against Prime Minister Narendra Modi, because that's what his Gujarat is a state. And also the fact that in Gujarat, the BJP has made a big meal out of such comments, personal comments by Congress leaders, starting from the Motka Saudagar bit in 2007. Now, this time around, although what one can see is that the Prime Minister and the BJP, along with Arvind Kejriwal, it is more suitable for them to have a national level contest in Gujarat, primarily because the BJP has got a long anti-incumbency against it. The last two chief ministers have been virtually nameless, faceless, and they have not done great credit in terms of the kind of governance that Narendra Modi created as Gujarat model and took it across the country. And that is why corruption and a lot of other issues along with price rise. See, if we talk about double engine ki sarkar, the element of price rise works negatively in terms of double engine, that both center and state are ruled by the same party. And in that scenario, the BJP has a lot of ground to cover. Arvind Kejriwal does not have a very strong cadre compared to the Congress party, and he wants to beat it, so he wants a national level debate. Coincidentally, both the BJP, Congress, BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party are locked in a MCD battle, in which the third player, coincidentally again, is the Congress in Delhi also.
Right.
So you've got that kind of character. In that, the BJP is trying to make a big issue out of it, although it does not have the same resonance as in the past. But definitely what one can say is that all these comments are being utilized by Narendra Modi to create the template of a victim and the underdog as far as the Gujarat election is concerned.
Lavanya Balal, the fact is, whatever the president might have meant or did not mean to say, or maybe it's being construed out of context, maybe it's being politicized, but it's open election season, it's bound to have happened. You just, were given a lesson a week ago with the comment of Mr. Mistry where the word Okat was concerned. The Prime Minister practically has gone to every rally challenging the Congress to show his Okat. To do something like this, you could have preempted it, or rather should have preempted it.
Good evening, Preeti. I'm appalled and shocked that the entire Hindi first language, people who speak the entire media which is reporting this entire incident speaks Hindi majorly. I, as a person who has learned Hindi in school, can understand what Mr. Kharge is saying. He is questioning basically if Mr. Modi has multiple faces like that of Ravan. He is not compared him to Ravan. He said this. This is being misconstrued by the media, which is very shocking for me. You know, why is there a consistent effort? I understand Amit Malviya and Sambit
One
Patra
second,
misconstruing a statement of a Dalit
Miss
president of the
Balal,
Congress.
I want to come in on that. I just want to weigh in, if you allow me.
Let me complete.
If you allow me, ma'am, I'll let you complete. I will let you complete. Just if you allow me, ma'am, if you allow me, you've made a statement which says it's been misconstrued by the media. You know, it's all well and good to blame the media for the statement being misconstrued. Is it being misconstrued on ground? Because tomorrow you will have a rally by the Prime Minister where he will talk to the voters and he will turn it around politically. It's better sense, you know, to not do it in the first place, I would think, and not blame the media for misconstruing it. We just said it for what it is.
Preeti, in your opening comments, you also said maybe it is being misconstrued. If there was no doubt at all, why would you even make that statement that it might be misconstrued if there was no statement like that? Let me finish my original statement that I was making, Preeti. It is natural for Sambit Patra and Amit Malviya to misconstrue whatever a Dalit president of Congress party will say. Today, there is a consistent attack on Mr. Kharge about it. Nobody is talking about why Mr. Kharge is being humiliated by the BJP so much. Yes, Mr. Kharge said PM talks about his humble beginnings. Why does the BJP have a problem when Mr. Kharge talks about much more humble beginnings? Does he run his entire politics on his humble beginnings? No. Mr. Sambit Patra makes a statement, oh, he was an untouchable. Maybe it is being practiced. Do you realize how misconstrued that statement is? Did we have this problem when Mr. Sambit Patra called Rahul Gandhi Saddam Hussein? Why is it that every time a Congress leader makes a comparison,
Sambit Patra did not, madam, let me correct you. As I bring in GVL Narasimha Rao, Sambit Patra did not call Rahul Gandhi Saddam Hussein. Hemanta Biswa Sarma, the Assam Chief Minister, called Rahul Gandhi Saddam Hussein in a rally in Gujarat. So, you know, factually that's incorrect, but I'd like to bring in GVL Narasimha Rao into this conversation. You know, Mr. Rao, the fact is the Congress is doing exactly what you're doing, which is to spin a statement and use it to benefit you politically. You did it with Okad, now with Ravan, and the Congress is doing the same where they are bringing in the antecedents of Dalit, where the Congress president is concerned, saying you are insulting Dalits. So it's tit for tat.
Preeti, allow me a couple of minutes like you have allowed other panelists. Mr. Kharge is a very seasoned politician, a very senior politician. Perhaps he's been in parliament as long as much as the age of Rahul Gandhi as some of us. So he's not given to making such statements. It's a script that he is reading. He is a notional president of the Congress party today. He is appointed by the Gandhi family. What they would do repeatedly in Gujarat, this time they have they have rather forced or compelled Mr. Kharge to make such statements. And to say a multi-headed Ravan is not a jibe, and I am surprised, I am appalled that you also find possibly there is a benefit of doubt, Preeti. Could he not have, then he could have said, oh, is Narendra Modi, is he like Lord Vishnu, having multiple avatars? I would have no problems with it. But why bring in Ravan? The context is very clear. To associate the Prime Minister, to label him as a negative force, to tell the people of Gujarat that he is somebody who needs to be abhorred, who needs to be hated. It is where the Congress party has deliberately made this comment. This slur is deliberate, it is intended. They also possibly know it hurts them politically, but they do it out of their pick. They know they have nothing to really win this election. Rahul Gandhi has run away from Gujarat. He's seen everywhere. He's in Kerala, Hyderabad, Telangana, Maharashtra, but he's absent from Gujarat. What does it tell you? He doesn't want to own the defeat in Gujarat. Therefore, they have found a scapegoat in Mallikarjun Kharge. I have all the sympathy, all the respect for Mallikarjun Kharge, but he is being made a scapegoat of the Gandhi family.
Preeti.
All right, I want to bring in Rahul Srivastava back into this conversation. Taking off, Rahul, it's very interesting because both sides will turn around and blame the media for misconstruing their statements or not interpreting it the way it should be. And that aside. But having said that, even if the Congress meant to say that he's this Hydra, that the Prime Minister is Hydra-headed, the face of every campaign, ultimately what is really wrong with that? Because, as you and I both have travelled through Gujarat, he is your biggest campaigner. He is your biggest star campaigner when it comes down to Gujarat. And if he is the same person who's on an MCD poster asking for votes in Delhi, what's wrong with that? You're using, your best machinery in terms of where your arsenal is concerned.
Yes,
Is that
Preeti,
question for me?
had this comment remained that he's he's got many faces, he's the face in every election, I think the comparison with Ravan is the important element, because there is a bit of a demonization here. The demon element is involved, and on Diwali, on Dussehra, we have effigies of Ravan being burnt. So it's not a very positive character that the comparison was. So as bad as Saddam Hussein can be in perception, Ravan can be bad in perception. So the idea of comparing him to Ravan, the Ravan element was problematic. The fact remains, Preeti, that why is it happening is very critical in this election. The Congress was running a rather clean campaign. Rahul Gandhi did not campaign much in Gujarat, so that the local sui generis issues will remain more dominant, and the BJP will find it difficult to battle them. The BJP wanted the national players to be in, so that Narendra Modi, it can be Narendra Modi versus Rahul Gandhi. The Congress skipped that. But the ferocity with which Aam Aadmi Party has run the campaign, and it seems that it is emerging, at least perceptibly, the big player, the Congress had to create a battle that it's a battle between Congress and the BJP. And in that, these direct attacks started happening on Narendra Modi. And that is where I think this is exactly what the BJP wanted, to have Aam Aadmi Party biting into the heels of the Congress, and a Congress versus the BJP national narrative in Gujarat.
Lavanya Balal, history stands testimony, and you can continue to blame the media, but it's not that. History stands testimony that every time the Congress has raked up the Prime Minister, politically it's backfired. Don't you see that you've actually walked into a trap which the BJP was hoping you would?
Preeti, some things need to be said. For example, Khargeji questioning why is the Prime Minister also campaigning for municipal elections was something that had to be asked. Somebody needs to be asking the right questions. It is high time we start asking the right questions. And I would like to inform
Lavanya Balal, what is wrong if the Prime Minister campaigns for municipal elections?
First of all, Preeti, it's factually
I'm sorry,
incorrect.
Preeti, I didn't hear you.
Sir, I'll come to you. Let her finish. Sir, let her finish. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Mr. Rao, I will come back to you. The question I'm asking you, Ms. Balal, is very simple. I want to ask you one straight question. What is wrong if the Prime Minister campaigns for an MCD election? What is wrong with that?
Doesn't the Prime Minister have a set of duties? Is the Prime Minister's duty to be a star campaigner for a party? Isn't he the Prime Minister for the nation, Preeti? That is something that we all seem to have forgotten. And the BJP spokesperson was running down Khargeji and his leadership qualities, saying he is incapable of being a leader, he is incapable of taking decisions on his own. This is exactly what we are saying. From day one, Khargeji's tenure has been questioned by the BJP, saying he is an incapable leader, and we will say that is because he is a Dalit leader, and they cannot digest a man from extreme humble beginnings to have become the president of one of the oldest parties, and that is why they make such derogatory comments about Mr. Kharge. The question is, why aren't they questioning the Prime Minister's duty? Why is he coming and campaigning for a municipal election? Have you seen Prime Ministers in the past campaigning for municipal elections? Are they even supposed to be campaigning for municipal elections? Are they supposed to be campaigning for a party?
Okay, Lavanya Balal, I'll bring in Mr. Rao. The fact, Lavanya Balal, is that the rules of engagement have changed where the political landscape of this country is concerned, and that's a question that is constantly asked of the Congress, which is refusing to keep up with that. But that aside, that's a matter of another debate. Mr. Rao, you wanted to come in. The fact is, Mr. Rao, you've also spun the entire Kharge angle out of context. But understandably, it's politics, it's open season.
No, Priti, which municipal election in Gujarat did Prime Minister Modi ever campaign? I have been following Gujarat from the time he became Chief Minister of Gujarat. I have literally followed every election in Gujarat. As Chief Minister of Gujarat, I'm stating this. If anybody has any counterfacts presenting, as Chief Minister of Gujarat, I know for a fact Narendra Modi ji did not campaign in local body elections as Chief Minister of Gujarat. So when you are lying, when the Congress leaders and spokespersons lie, they must really understand their lies will be busted. As Chief Minister, he did not campaign in Gujarat elections.
Mr. Rao, Lavanya Balal is talking about the Prime Minister campaigning in Delhi MCD elections.
No, I'm talking about municipal elections in Gujarat. You see, Delhi is a different ballgame. In Delhi, as Chief Minister,
well, she's talking about the posters of the Prime Minister across Delhi, where he's campaigning for MCD elections in Delhi, sir. That's what she's saying.
No, you see, you cannot choose. You see, because you have a weak leadership. The Congress doesn't want to present Rahul Gandhi because they lose elections every time he is exposed in the campaign. So they are running away from elections. The Gujarat is a classic case where Rahul Gandhi is going everywhere in the country, but he doesn't want to enter Gujarat because he has some phobia. He has got a Modi phobia. They may accept, they may not accept. But what prevents a Prime Minister from campaigning in elections for his party anywhere? Prime Minister's office, it's a political office. It's not it's not something that is apolitical. Prime Minister will campaign. If you had Manmohan Singh, who did not attract votes, he did not campaign enough. If Rahul Gandhi is a weak leader, he will not campaign.
Okay.
But nothing prevents Prime Minister Modi.
Should the Prime Minister be campaigning from local body elections to state elections? There's an argument on that, but like I said, the language of politics has changed. I want to quickly cut across to Lavanya Balal as well and then to Rahul Srivastava. Lavanya Balal, the fact is, it's very clear. You don't have a campaigner to pull in the kind of mass support that Modi does for the BJP. There's nothing wrong with that, is what anybody today who's following politics will say.
Preeti, I'm sorry, I'm appalled at the way the BJP spokesperson Narsim Rao talks. He is making a personal attack on Rahul Gandhi, claiming he has got a Modi phobia. The man seems to have forgotten Mr. Kharge is heading the party. Mr. Rahul Gandhi is not heading the party. Mr. Rao, this is exactly what we are saying. The political discourse in the country has gone to the gutters because of people like you. The BJP leaders are dragging the discourse to the gutter. Sir, have some decorum.
One second, let's not make it personal.
Is that a bad language?
I want to just get in Rahul Srivastava for the last 30 seconds of this conversation. Okay. I just want to get in Rahul Srivastava for the last 30 seconds of this conversation. You know, Rahul, it's going as per script, isn't it?
Yes, Preeti, I think it's going absolutely the way the BJP really wanted it. I think the local issues were dominating. I think 3 months back, an election could have been tough for the BJP. But today, I think there have been certain extraneous factors. Narendra Modi has made it a personal battle in which I think there has been aiding by other political players. And as far as gutter is concerned, I think that's going to be a big issue in the MCD elections.
All right, okay, I'm going to just leave it at that, viewers. It's for our viewers to decide, but ultimately, I apologize, sir, and Ms. Balal, terribly out of time. We're going to, end the show right there. But trust India Today to keep the spotlight on all developments. Does it resonate what has happened back in Gujarat? Well, nothing right now, because the drums for the first phase of polling have stopped beating. They've fallen silent. Tomorrow is another day when the campaign for the 5th phase starts. Trust the Prime Minister to be back on. Will he use the reference of Ravan, which the Congress raked up today, even if it didn't mean to? But you know, I'd put my money on it. You'd hear it in the next political rally of the Prime Minister. Thank you for joining us.